Welcome back to Get Down to Business. I've been looking forward to this conversation for quite a while. I'm absolutely thrilled and honored to be joined by the amazing Maxwell Ivey, who is the blind blogger. He's a blind entrepreneur sharing his inspiring story of transformation. Maxwell, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you, Shalom. I'm happy to be on the program, and I appreciate your patience in making this all work out.
Absolutely. Such a pleasure. So you were, as we said, a blind entrepreneur. That's entrepreneurship is a challenge to anybody tuning into this program. But certainly the additional challenges of coming into this, as you say, blind is really an additional challenge. So tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey.
Right. Well, I started my first online business in 2007, helping people sell used carnival rides and amusement equipment. I did that after my father's death caused the closure of our traveling carnival. And I basically had to learn just one step at a time until I had my website online. This was pre-Wi-Fi, pre-WordPress, pre-Facebook. And at one point, I had to teach myself how to hand code HTML just so I could get online. And it's been one learning experience after another. And since I'm somebody who enjoys curiosity and just figuring out a way to get from here to that next step on my journey, it was all fun most of the time, except when it was 3 o'clock in the morning and you couldn't figure out where you broke your code.
That's I love it. And you and I were just talking off air, and you used the term, an opportunity. And I love that because I say that all the time, that a challenge is just an opportunity. So you have so many opportunities and you are helping so many business owners. So tell us a little bit about how you work with your clients and some of those success stories.
Right. Well, I've changed as I've gone along. I originally thought I would coach people to get unstuck and go after their goals, but that wasn't what people wanted. What they wanted to know was, how did Max get on podcasts and other online opportunities to promote his story? So I started doing that. And recently I've had another change. I like to think of myself as on a continuing entrepreneurial journey. So at the suggestion and encouragement of friends, I have combined everything I've done over the last 7 years. And I'm now going to be helping blind people and other people with disabilities to launch their own podcasts and hopefully build a business around their podcast. And it's exciting. It's scary. It's nothing I ever thought I'd be doing. But I look around and I see these people who have great stories and nobody's ever heard their stories because they just aren't out there in the world. So I'm looking forward to helping them launch their own shows or getting more exposure for existing shows. Or finding opportunities for these amazing people to share their stories more often and more publicly.
Absolutely. I'm chatting with Max Ivey, who is the blind blogger and who is a storyteller, and you're really good at it. Max, you are a business owner as well. What is the biggest surprise of business ownership and entrepreneurship that you've experienced?
I think the biggest surprise is just that the things that I have done since I started, I would have never thought I was capable of. So I think that most people, they sell themselves short. They put themselves in a box. They have tunnel vision as to what they're capable of or the areas that they feel interested in. And I would say that, the fact that I've figured out how to code HTML, how I've started a podcast, helping other people do podcasts, it seems like I'm constantly discovering things about myself that if you'd have caught me 15 years ago, I'd have said, no way in heck is that Max Ivey. So, even down to being a public speaker, traveling across the country by myself, just so many things that once upon a time I would have thought I wasn't capable of. And so just the continual growth and the fact that the entrepreneurial experience is not a destination, it's a journey. And if you will let it, it will educate you, entertain you, frustrate you, and cause you to grow in ways that you never expected.
Well, Max, you are an inspiration, my friend, and I appreciate you. So tell us who should be reaching out to you and how they can get a hold of you if they want to learn more about your services and your story.
Right. Well, they can go to theblindblogger.net. That's where everything goes back to that website. If there's somebody who wants to share their story and get more exposure for their passion or their brand, then they should reach out to me. If they are somebody who has a disability or knows someone who is going through the struggles of vision loss or an accident that has caused them, or even, we're hearing these horrible stories about people whose lives are being changed by the long haul syndrome from COVID. So people who have these stories and they would like some help starting a podcast, launching a blog, putting their first book out into the world, just assistance with people with disabilities, creating these passion projects that can inspire and educate other people.
TheBlindBlogger.net. That's where you can learn all about Max Ivey, his story, and get in touch so your story can be told as well. Max, thank you so much for joining us, and come back to share not only your stories of success, but your who you have helped along the way. How does that sound?
That sounds like a great opportunity, and I look forward to introducing you to my next success story very soon.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to squeeze in a quick break here on the show all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. Get on my website, shalomklein.com. That's where you can learn all about the hundreds of guests that have appeared on the program. Check out my website, shalomklein.com. We're going to squeeze in a quick break. More small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship when we return.